Anybody home?
She, this is the investment part. She considers a field and buys it from the fruits of her hand, and she plants a vineyard. So it's just like, here's the thing. She's not being taken care of in the sense of the word, like, oh, and what?
That dude looks like Frankenstein. Come back, Frank. Oh, he's disappeared.
Yeah, again, different, but constantly working, constantly putting her mind and her focus onto those things. She puts her hand into the
We just all half dead. Good grief!
She puts her palm to hold the spindle. Her palm she opens to the poor, and she reaches out to the needy. Again, this is the whole. They also are carers and nurturers.
How dare you say that? That's typecasting.
She covers herself in fine clothing, so it's fine,
not,
totally fine for her to be. This is okay. So this is going to be something maybe people are going to take issue with.
I think you've been saying that, and you've not said anything near as spicy, and this one is on the other.
Her husband is known. Well, I was saying I was sharpening the point to soften some of the not soften, but clarify some of it. Her husband is known at the gate. At the gates in his seat among the elders of the land. So it's putting that in statement with what a woman ought to be. Now, I'm going to say this is going to be actually stepping on like some toes hardcore. I've seen this so often that and I don't know about you, I've actually called this out in other men. If men are disparaging to their wives, I'll call that crap out. It drives me nuts. When men are like, my battle axe can't do, whatever, this or that. That drives me nuts. But I've seen that so many times in women where they start crapping on their husbands like, hey, this guy can't do anything. If I leave him with the babies, they're going to end up half dead, naked in the street, doing whatever. And it's like, okay, what you're communicating to everyone, including bringing your husband's name down in everybody else's eyes, is that he's inept and not able to do the things he needs to do. Start building your husband up and actually communicating that he's capable and valiant and actually takes care of you well, and watch as he actually rises to the occasion. Like, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I mean, it's, yeah.
That was a strange interaction.
The bread of idleness she will not eat. Again, if that hurts, it should.
I don't need two of these.
Charm is deceit and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears Yahweh shall be praised. So again, it's, I don't know. And this comes right before Ecclesiastes. I don't think that's an accident. All I'm saying is, in order to be a Proverbs 31 woman, you actually have to get out there and hustle and get the job done. Like, being a hardworking woman is not the problem. It's that you try to step into the role of men and then act like men can't do your job and their job. And it's like, well, no. I don't know. That nothing will let the oxygen out of a tank of a man than doing that. You're literally spiritually castrating your husband.
I think you're kind of speaking out of two sides of that, from everybody saying, well, you got to do this, but also don't do it too much.
What do you mean?
You're saying, you're acting like
stay in your lane.
Not exactly.
I am. Her industriousness and her investment in things like that are separate. Notice she is working, constantly has her, hand to the plow, making sure that she's diligent and all that kind of stuff. But it's in her realm. She's, working with the spindle. She's, investing in lands of her own. She's doing all these things. It doesn't suggest that somehow she's trying to insert herself into a man's world and say, I must be okay and accepted here. It's like, well, you don't belong
But
here.
that's what modern women are doing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That I take issue with. Because, again, you don't belong here. Like, what are you doing?
I got no clue what you're talking about. What are these?
In the same way that I don't take issue when...
What? I didn't know I could do this.
Use shelters as a save point or on the world map to completely restore... Oh, that's kind of cool.
That would be very useful. There's a save point right now. Good, since I think we're all half dead. Yes, we are all, in fact, mostly dead.
There's a difference between mostly dead and all dead.
Alright, so I gotta use a shelter. Yes, I'm aware. Like the one you're standing in. How do I use that shelter? Do I have to ask you how it works before you let me use it? You son of a gun! That's just a replica, and by that I mean it's a particle effect. You got me all excited, pal! I'm half dead! What are these kids doing? Can I smack one of these kids? Message battle went up or down. Whoops, wrong one. No, 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 get out of here. Yes, I'm aware.
You're gonna have to find one of those before you go in.
Hello, fellas.
What's going on up here?
Some kind of flash mob?
Is that what they're calling it nowadays?
This guy just asked me, you want to learn something? And I just said no. Oh boy, I'm gonna die, pal.
5 dudes in 2 beds. What's the correlation there?
I'm fully okay. Why are you giving me this training now, pal? This was probably something I was meant to do at the very beginning of the game. All right, yeah, come on, guy. I didn't want to do this. I was being courteous. I don't think I have any of those abilities yet, do I? Okay, can I get this over with?
Well, I feel like I've just rambled and talked nonstop.
Well, I've been dying to that weird fish monster a lot. And again, I haven't experienced as much of this firsthand, so most of my grumblings would just be generic grumblings.
It's a pretty good representation of feminism. We've been dying to that weird fish thing. Wow. Just joking, that's terrible. Oh,
goodness. No, I don't actually want to learn about any of this. Alright, Joe, my opinions would probably just come across as a lot more mean-spirited.
What does that mean? I mean, did I not
encapsulate
it fairly
I think the 19th Amendment was a mistake.
Wow.
I'm not even that much of a joking about that.
Well, I mean, again, that's an argument.
It's a little bit just like you're entering into a sphere that you don't even want to be in, clearly.
Sure, that is also true. I think, again, it's a valid question.
Oh, the bridge is back.
To say, is this an area that is a leadership role? And I think there's a degree of argument for it. I think that's...
So where's that shelter thing I can use?
Point. I don't know that...
Woo!
I have met women that are very competent in that realm, but there are few and far between. Yes, I agree.
I was rather astonished by of all people, Ayn Rand's position, where people basically asked her, you're a female political commentator. What are your thoughts on women in politics? And she's like, I wouldn't trust them.
Well,
because it's just like her. I found it unusually conservative because she wasn't really a conservative, more of a kind of a libertarian. Snail, stop. What?
What's that, dude?
Yeah, it is. I think that's just a race of things. Can I sit in your lap? Oh, is he playing that piano? Is that what he's doing? Are we sure? Is that how that's done? Okay. Someone died in the forest. Seems like exposition to me. Okay, this is where all the strange, depressed people hang out. I forgot what I was saying. Something about Ayn Rand. Oh, yes. Well, she's basically saying a woman who wants to be in politics is a woman who is not basically... I mean, she basically said who's not really in touch with her own femininity or place.
Right.
It's like, wow, this is not what I would have expected coming from you.
Stay in your lane context. But see, here's a woman. Here's the thing. Here's a woman who has fully embraced and explored that context, in my opinion.
Was this the mayor?
I feel like Ayn Rand spoke to things that made sense. Like, for instance,
You're
speaking
very
of
weird.
something like what art is and the definition of what that's supposed to represent and all this kind of stuff. Okay, great. Have a conversation about that. But again, this is where I just go, it's old-fashioned of me, sure. But even like, yeah, the 1950s, great. But I would go back even further to like, okay, so all these...
1850s.
No, listen though. I'm about to make a valid
I'd go
point.
back to 1252 with the Unified Church.
I'm about to make... Well, that's certainly true. I'd like to make a valid point.
What's going on
in that
here?
All of these Jane Austen, like...
Now, is this...
Pride and Prejudice...
Is this before the
Sense and
I got arrested,
Sensibility, all
or...
these kinds of... Oh, is that how far you...
Well, no, because I got arrested in the past. So, never mind then. The fair's still going on and nothing bad has happened yet. Okay, bye. I got loads of cash now. How about I spend it on some of this stuff? 0 silver points? What do you mean 0 silver points? I'm loaded. Ooh. You're a little bit creepy. What do you mean? I got loads of cash. Do I have to buy tokens from someplace? Is this one of those kind of carnivals? Can I participate in this race? Because I bet you I'd win. Oh, I'd win for... I started like half a minute behind all of you folks. Alright, well, I can't do nothing. No.
That's the winner. What was I saying?
Talking about Ayn Rand.
Well, no, I think going back to Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, those kinds of things, they have all these like, we love Mr. Darcy and we love Mr. Knightley and all these kinds of characters, and you go, well, those were very strong and archetypal men.
And somewhat...
Brash?
Yeah.
Yes. That's what, but that's again men. Like saying, like my favorite scene in Emma, one of the other popular ones by Jane Austen, where Mr. Knightley calls out Emma for doing something foolish and rather catty, and he just basically says, "Badly done." Like I was ashamed of you in that moment, and it's like, okay, that's a valid point, and he made it, and she had the strength on the feminine level to be able to receive that and then move on from it. But again, it's stay in your lane. There's a part of it that I just go, I don't.
Yeah, but they're not
understand
gonna is the problem. So what do you do about that?
Why though?
Because we let them.
We were here.
Basically, authority doesn't go away. We gave it up.
Well, but okay, so
So it's basically, it's like the fact that, well, okay, when I say we gave it up, we were pressured into giving it up, but we did ultimately choose to do it.
When was this?
60s and 70s-ish, sexual revolution and all that. But the problem is you can't reclaim authority from someone who doesn't want to give it to you.
Well, that's certainly.
So it's like now it's a matter of
what I'm urging.
what do you do?
What I'm urging is for women.
You're never going to get
especially
this.
Within,
You're never going to get that.
well, I'm certainly not going to get it again on a cultural level, but I'm just saying it's now creeping into my sphere, and I will tell you right now I won't have it.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Is it's basically it's going to take men just deciding it's like not around me, no.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm sorry, if I see that kind of stuff in the same way that I'd call out men, if you're going to put your nose
on
out into
earth?
my world, I'm going to call you out as I would a man.
Strange things are happening to me.
I don't think I like what's between your legs, pal. Are you singing to me? I still won't be messing with that thing between your legs.
Oh, wait, what? We're getting into a fight?
Slut's pointing at it. Oh, no!
What are we doing?
Leave that slut alone!
I guess we're fighting the singing robot for some reason? I have no clue why. And now it's dancing.
Oh.
What? This is incredibly strange.
Should we fight it again?
I mean, I guess I got a bunch of cash from that. Is this a great way to earn metal or silver or whatever this is? Oh, I can only do it once. That's rude. This is real weird.
Can you play a cardboard game?
Well, I have points now.
In order to actually get more money?
No. Apparently I need these points for things. No, I actually don't. Oh yeah, you mean the one standing literally 2 feet in front of you? Yeah, she's a total slut. I could show you!
She's got some water powers. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Again, just the way it animated it, I was like, that's suspect.
Press A as fast as you can to guzzle soda. This is hurting my thumbs. What? Screw you, pal. Drank 4 cans of soda in 10 seconds? I'd be rocketing vomit right now if that was real.
Have you seen that trend?
Just shotgun 4 sodas?
Oh, have you seen that trend where people try to drink, I think it's like a 2 liter of Sprite? It's like, oh, my tummy hurts.
Why would...
It's like...
2 liters of... That would... I think you'd throw up 2 liters of any liquid if you tried to drink it all at once.
It's like, it was like most people can only get halfway through because of the sheer...
Well, because
like,
isn't... Pretty sure your stomach can only hold like a liter of liquid of any kind.
Maybe it's not 2 liters. I can't... I'll have to look up the trend. But basically, like, you end up, because of the carbonation...
Yeah, it's going to absolutely make you puke.
At one point, these 2 sisters are trying to do it, or friends or whatever are trying to do it in the car. And the other one goes, oh, my stomach's hurting. All of a sudden goes... and starts burping, and it literally is like a minute long. I kid you not. Somebody said, oh, she wasn't burping. Her soul just left her body because it was like...
Well, why would you... That's dumb. Alright, we found the gate. I still need to find a save point, though. Oh, we're back here. I don't have too many...
A save point.
Well, that's true, but I thought I would only come here if I had too many party members. Well, actually, hang on. Let me just... fill up on all my stuff again. Okay, well, since you're letting me do it. Thanks, pal. I guess I could pick up Wanker. But... I mean, we need the slut for healing purposes. I guess I could see how he does in comparison to the, I could see how he does in comparison to her, because I have not been impressed with her... Hang on. No, okay.
Well, I mean...
I haven't been impressed with her performance.
She belonged to the street.
There we go.
I feel like that was a...
Okay, so I got a bunch more time travel opportunities. Truth Canyon. This is home time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Valley. This is the far past. No, that's the future. This is the far past. Way far past. And that's... Okay, so that's home. This is our home, and that's the monster home. I don't even know where I need to go. I feel kind of bad for leaving her here, though. This whole thing was her idea. Help me out, pal. What? Okay. I have no clue where I need to go. Was I supposed to be talking to people and learning things? I mean, they did say something about if I go back to the past, I could maybe alter the future. But The question is which past? The very, very far past, or... That's probably too far past. This is a new thing. I don't know where this is, so I guess this is the place I would go. Given the opportunity. I don't know. I don't think you're going to change anything by convincing people. I think you just kind of have to just say, we're just not putting up with this anymore.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's going to take men on a holistic level, just actually taking the time to step up to the plate. But what that requires is actual brass, not pretend brass by saying, hey, you can't speak because I'm the leader. That's not what it is.
Hang on a second. This is where I've been before, I think.
Yeah, I felt like you've been here before, too.
Okay, so maybe the really old past was where I should have been. I should have gone to the Mondo past. Oh, he's also got healing abilities. And a rocket punch and a laser spin. Alright, so Wanker might just be alright. The trouble is, if I go back to where I was, will I be able to go back in time or no? I would like to thinking. Okay, maybe. Don't tell me no. You! Okay. I was about to say. I don't know. So maybe the extreme far past. I'm going back and I'm going to stamp on the primordial soup. I'm going to put an end to all of this before it begins. Going to find the first enlightened ape and I'm going to cap him in the head. No evolution for you! Uh-oh, we're going to fall into a pit.
That was a bit anticlimactic.
We all landed in perfect sync. I'm still looking for a save point, which I probably won't have for a long... I mean, I guess I did just save in the other spot, so what am I talking about? I don't know. I feel like we've gotten to another point where we don't go anywhere. What? Charizard?
Hard.
Give me a rocket cyclone. Rocket roll. Hey! I don't even know what this means, but it sounds dope. That wasn't as dope as I thought it'd be.
Oh, yes it was. It just damaged them quite a bit.
Yeah, but it has to damage them a lot now because things take more damage. There you go. I mean, they take more than 100, clearly. Ouch. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I don't think things are going to change until... Basically, until consequences are reestablished. Because the thing that I found most...
We're back to the full circle. We have to take responsibility for ourselves, and those that are advocating just suck.
Well, because the thing that I found a little while back, which I found really projection-y, was a woman trying to basically commenting on people talking about like the concept of the male suicide rates and mental health crises and whatever. It's like, it's because they don't adapt to the way the world works now. And I'm like, give it 20 years, we'll see who's not adapting. Because I can tell you, it's not a long-term solution, but in the short term, we can survive. You will be the ones far more miserable in the future. It's like, if this is a war of attrition, we will win it.
Well, that's an awful...
But it's not a positive for any of us. It would be best to avoid that. But it's like, if we're just gonna...
It's also a very unfeeling approach.
Oh yes, but that's
horrible.
That's modernity. That's modern. That's the thing that modernity teaches women is you're valuable for doing nothing, and what it teaches men is you're not even valuable when you do something. You're only worth what you can provide if a woman actually wants it. Even if you could provide it, you may not actually mean you're much worth.
You're gonna have to learn to provide it, and then learn to sell what you're providing, and hope somebody buys.
Basically. And so it's just like, okay, if you think that's sustainable, then it ain't. You're either going to get a lot of criminality, which we're getting, or a lot of male suicide, which we're getting. But there isn't anything else. Those are the only two things you're going to get.
It's a bunch of strong...
A bunch of...
mafia men.
Basically, all that you're going to be left with is a bunch of criminal men.
Which is what they want.
Well, I mean, revealed preferences would seem to indicate...
I agree. This is why the 1950s. Let's go back.
But don't you know we can't go back? I find it a dumb comment when people say that.
Anti-mob is perilous. We should go back.
People saying like, oh, well, you can't just go back to the past. I'm like, why the frick not? We know what it was like. It's not like it's a mystery anymore. People just act like, well, it just would. You can't. Progressive. We have to, everything moves forward. It doesn't go back. It's like, actually, no. This is not how things work.
It has not. I assure you, it has moved.
We could have just choose to do things differently. So we're fighting dinosaurs in the prehistoric. I have no clue why, but we are. The question is, now I'm thinking about it, should we have just stayed at the last save point? Or do you think we can get another 30 minutes out of this? Turn it into a double feature. Might as well just uncork. Just let it all out.
I don't think you're ready for the verbal diarrhea that uncorking would cause.
Well, you ain't. You're blocked up, I can tell.
No,
well, you're blocked up.
Well,
Ioka Hut.
The problem, I think it's made me more...
Hello?
What's made me more...
I am feeling very uncomfortable.
Angry, less concerned, but more angry, is that what you just described. The response to men not being able to shoulder the weight emotionally of what they're having to deal with. And then women just going, yeah, those men, man, they're not as strong as they act like. It's like, how dare you? I'm sorry, but that nothing ticks me off more than that sentiment. I mean, it's for as much as women act like men are emotionally constipated, it's like, no, we've just tried to express our feelings in the past and we've been shut down.
Well, it's the whole woman versus tree thing.
What?
You remember that?
No.
It was the male response to the man or bear question.
Oh.
It was, would you, because I'm sure it sounds like you're familiar with the former.
Yeah.
Where it's basically, and the thing about that is like, well, okay, everyone obviously knows you're lying, but we're not.
Yeah.
Because the alternate response was, okay, men, would you rather share your emotions with a woman or a tree?
Yeah.
And the reason that got people angry is because it's like, yeah, we all knew you were lying about yours because you just wanted clout. The thing is, we're not lying. And you don't like that we're not lying because you knew you were.
Yeah.
Oh, lightning stuns dinosaurs. That's good to know.
Okay, who are these people? Who are you people?
There's some sort of tribal folks, and the women are giving me strange vibes.
They got tentacle, like they look like the.
I think it's just
aliens
long
from-
hair.
Is it though?
It is.
They're made up entirely of long hair. They're long hair ladies, long hair.
They're made up entirely of long hair.
They're animal.
I'm just saying there's an unusual hip sway going on here, and I'm not sure how I feel about it.
Are you allured?
Unwillingly, maybe.
I think that's how allure works.
It makes me... Well, no, you could be willingly allured.
I suppose.
That would just be, I guess, seduction at that point, or enticement. Meeting site.
Enticement, maybe.
Whoa, that is a loined cloth. That is a clothed loin.
Strong
Oh, am I going to...
Come chief.
Am I going to become the chief of this people? Am I going to have you? Yeah, that's definitely hair, I think.
You came from the mountain. Many weird things happen on the mountain. May I show you? Bam, bam, bam.
Hello, ma'am. Are you a ma'am?
I don't think he is. I think it's a child.
Tino no like you? Well, I gotta look at my giant robot. And also that thing. Laruba clan hiding north. Yeah, okay. I don't know what to make of you guys. You all weirding me out. I'm just saying there's a flaunt to this that I'm not sure how to feel about.
I mean, as friends.
I'm not sure about that. I think it might be more.
Wow. No, I do take issue with it because I
Dactyl nest.
there's also a part of it.
That is a strange thing. Monkey goat demon. demon monkey goat. It is.
That's such an apt description.
What? Oh, hello.
It's getting worse.
I thought that's it. Okay. Never mind. Oh, it's got big teeth. Much teeth. Much toothed. Oh, you know what? It just occurred to me, though. That the robot doesn't actually have magic abilities, so I don't know if he's the right choice for this, and I am getting massively hurt. Darn it. Wasn't paying attention, now I'm hurt. Ooh. Oh, I thought he was going to kidnap our woman. Pulling a King Kong on us. It wasn't as good as I wanted. Oh, okay, I gotta heal myself. I am about to... they're opening their gaping sphincters.
No. No. No, sir.
That's what they're doing. They're spewing.
Oh, it's red, too.
I got a bad case of the hemorrhoids. Oh, I'm dead. Tried to revive myself, didn't get the chance. Oh, bye. She gonna... Oh, well, I didn't quite kill her, but... Whoa, that's a good move. Ouch. Oh, bye. Alright. Hemorrhoid. Ew! Gelatinous!
Gelatinous roids.
Oh! Ooh, that ain't right.
Everyday shuffle.
Schist. I do believe it. Somehow that feels appropriate. You gotta heal yourself! Nope. Schist happens.
Schist happens.
Well, that Shub-Niggurath just gave us a jolly good seeing to.
Okay.
What? It's a Lovecraft reference. People will think it's all right.
Oh dear.
Although I'm not sure if there's what was it? I don't think any of them resemble the weird demon monkey goat. Although I'm pretty sure Shub-Niggurath's the goat. Or is it Yog-Sothoth? I'm not much of an expert.
Yeah, I know.
All right, well, we couldn't get half an hour out of this. Unless I just try to keep beating that thing. All it's going to do is use me cheeks like a bongo drum.
I don't know.
Ain't no fixing it is what the point is.
It's a shame, isn't it?
I mean, essentially, I'd like to think there is, but it doesn't look like there is, because the culture is very much set to not change.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay,
what I think
it's going to take a stalemate, and sadly, we're the ones better suited to it, but that's still going to suck for all of us.
Very, very sad commentary, but the reality is, I think that's why you see such a rise in this kind of stoic, I'm just going to keep my head down and screw you all kind of principle that says, because here's the thing, men need more than on an emotional context than we're given credit for. So it's like, all you got to do is make sure that sexually your man is happy. It's like, actually, it does take more than that, believe it or not. We actually do have emotions behind that. We're not just some sort of cock with legs. I mean, it's like, I mean, it is. It's true. It's like this is getting to the point of absurdity. It's. I don't know. I do take issue with it because I think
the dong that walks like a man.
When the meatheads of the world.
Why did you choose that after that series of phrases?
Well, I mean, but you know what I'm talking about, like the
meat
the dude
and the heads,
the dude broy kind of men that do give some validity to that kind of men are just stupid apes that just need sex. It's like, well,
that's
no.
just me actually.
It's like, no, that's not accurate at all. But we certainly aren't going to give you more of our actual intimate thoughts if you act like we are. It's like, we're just going to go, okay. So, I don't know. It's going to take a village. need to get by with a little help from our friends.
Don't go. No, we ain't taking the Alexander solution. No, we're not ending on that. You're gonna have to furnish us with something better.
I'm teasing, but I don't know. I'm disheartened. I guess I'll just say it that way. All I know is it ain't coming to my house.
Well, keep it above the waist.
Keep it above the waist. Erect.
Well, I guess we'll just call this an extra long one. Okay, well, no. No, I'm just...
You gotta end it.
No, I refuse. Oh, whoops, I chose the wrong load.
It's just getting worse.
Hang on! Give me a chance! I can fix this. I've got to go fight the Monkey King. Where's the saves?
Oh,
I chose the wrong one. How do I use the save? This is the one, or no, this is the one I wanted. No, this 636. That's the longest time. So I just chose the wrong one. How might I fix this? Well, I guess in this case I can restart the game and call it fine. Unless I accidentally hit another thing. Okay, this is supposed to be the key that takes me to the menu game. Thank you. Alright, hang on. Okay, I skipped all the way to the bottom. Slave sought -1 auto. Well, that's what I need to get rid of. No. You're very annoying. No. It's very difficult to go from the old school controls to the new school controls on the same controller. Okay. Now I should have the freedom to choose the right one. Yes, this one. Alright, I'm going to go take another crack at the Monkey King, and I'm going to keep the chick because I think magic might be the thing I need in the past.
You're not satisfied with
I'm not ending with the way that was too no.
That was too on the nose.
I won't
Head, so to speak.
I won't have that be the way I'm remembered.
Well, there's worse ways to go down.
I won't even. No, that you did on purpose. I won't believe that was an accident. All right, where's the ape demon goat?
Here's the Charizard ball.
The Charizard quartet.
Leave it.
Ice. What kind of ability do you have? I'm just gonna sit in silence to wash the to wash out the shame. You want to dare attempt a reckoning?
Furnishing a brand new topic.
Doesn't have to be all brand new. I'm just saying.
I think my colon is no longer clean.
Okay. Here's I guess it's a tangentially related topic. I had the idea a little while back. I mean, it's not exactly. I'd say it as though it was like some enterprising thought. It was just there was a song that I heard, and there are several songs I think that fit this sort of description. That are just songs which, I guess if you were to make it a playlist, you'd call it songs that come from a place of male perspective. Because I think you can tell. It's like, this is a song that could only have been written by a man. And, I don't know, I was curious if you have ever thought of such a typography and what songs you'd put in it, because I can only think of a few, honestly, because it was only an idea that struck me a while back, but the song, I don't think I've ever showed it to you. And it's an odd one, I admit. It's not an obvious choice, but it's a song called Take a Walk. And so it's essentially a kind of narrative song about basically this guy, moves to America and tries to start a new life and pays to bring his family over, but then they all just end up, spreading around the country and they hardly see each other anymore. And basically each verse sets up like, I was trying to do this thing and to achieve something, and then it ends up not being what I thought it would, or it ends up not working out. And then the final phrase of each verse is, so I took a walk. And it's just like, that's kind of how it feels sometimes, where you're just like, well, things don't always work out, and sometimes all you can do is just take a walk.
There's a very potent song by, and he's not my favorite artist of all time, but James Blunt has a...
I've heard the name, I think.
Has a song. He's the one that does the... My life is brilliant.
Oh, that's him?
Yeah, but he has actually a brilliant song that I can't remember the title of it. I'm not going to be able to place it. It's, It's called Monsters, and it is a powerfully only masculine song. I'm actually just gonna read the lyrics right quick, just at least part of it.
I don't know how to get into this spot. Perhaps I'm not supposed to yet.
Okay. I'll have to just read as much as I can that it makes sense. So his dad's passing away, and he's there, okay? So it says, before they turn off all the lights, I won't read you your wrongs or your rights. The time is gone. I'll tell you goodnight, close the door. Tell you I love you once more, the time is gone, so here it is. And then the chorus says, I'm not your son, you're not my father, we're just two grown men saying goodbye. No need to forgive, no need to forget. I know your mistakes and you know mine.
This sounds like a strained relationship kind of a thing.
While you're sleeping, I will try to make you proud, so Daddy, won't you please close your eyes? Don't be afraid, it's my turn to chase the monsters away.
Oh, so it's not at all, it's quite similar to, the phrasing at least is similar to the Keep the Wolves Away song, which I would also add to this list.
Right. And this one is very heavy. Like, actually, he, in the music video, and you can tell even in the song, like, he actually is crying.
No, it still sounds as though it's a somewhat troubled relationship.
I gather
a late restoring.
Right, but it's a bit of a, hey, we're okay, so I want you to be able to die in peace. A little bit is what it is. And I'm like, that is a very powerful sentiment. Because I'm sure that there's a degree of all dads feeling a bit of a shortcoming in raising their sons, particularly.
I wouldn't.
Oh, I guess that's true.
Now, to switch to a completely different side of the similar coin.
What is... He just left his mouth open.
I don't know. So here's the question. Does magic work on the ape? Ow. He does mean things. From a totally separate perspective, but is still uniquely male, I think, I would call this almost a male love song equivalent, where it's like, this is a love song clearly from a man's perspective, which I think is interesting, because I think that's a genre. I don't even know if you can call it a genre. It's a type of song that is uniquely feminine most of the time. But it's called The Maid of Lanwell, and it's on the Zune. I don't know if you've heard it yet. It's in the folk playlist. I tried to heal, and it's too late. But basically, it's from the perspective of this poor farm boy, basically saying, I have next to nothing. I don't own land or livestock or much of anything. But this woman, this maid of Llanwellan, smiles sweetly on me, and it's like that's the male, I guess you could call it, ideal or fantasy of love is not in the storybook sense, but in just a, like, it's not about what I can give, because all I can give is basically my own affection, and so I think you may have heard it if you've ever just sort of perused that playlist. But I find it
all listening to something.
I mean, it's because I like it's of a sort of old English folk style, which I like anyways. That's gonna knock me way out. But again, I think it's like that is something I think is clearly written by a man, probably, because that is definitely, it isn't a kind of, oh, it's I've swept off my feet and how wonderful you make me feel. It's mostly just like no, I have not much to offer, and yet that's enough, because that's definitely something that is not communicated societally.
100%. I will say I don't know that I know any songs that immediately come to my head.
Well, you brought the other one up.
A type of song that I do have trouble with, and I have a hard time believing, even though it may be sung by a man, it may not have been specifically written by a man, because I'm going to backpedal slightly. I have seen many songs that are very much, it's sung by a man and it's basically communicating like, I wish I could, win you over or earn your affection or whatever. And it's very, I don't like those songs as much because it's very, how do I say this without, like, I hate the term simping, but it's a little bit like,
you're not gay, Kathleen.
Yeah, it's a little bit like, okay, if you're this piney over a woman, you have an issue. Whereas I appreciate more the songs, like there's a few that will communicate things like, you saw me even when no one else did.
Well, so you need to listen to The Maid of Llanwellyn. It's a great song.
And so
that's essentially it.
Like, it's like that sentiment I completely validate, because I think that's really all men want, is for them to be seen genuinely seen, in spite of maybe not being that impressive. I'll take this further, rather than not being that impressive, because that makes it sound like it's an insecurity issue. Seen as in understood. That's a fairly uncommon experience for a man, I would say. To be able to be seen by a woman and understood non-verbally by a woman is fairly uncommon. Other men, maybe, you might be able to be understood or appreciated, but it's fairly hard to really give a man that kind of assurance that he's understood. That's a difficulty for sure.
One I would add to the list, which could be more for personal reasons, I guess, because I'm not sure how if it would transcend to if multiple men would agree, or if it's just my own taste in music. But I would actually add the song Afterlife by Unleash the Archers, which I'm sure you will have heard, because it's from that one album that we have. And I like that one specifically because it's the end of the album, and it's a narrative album where it's basically this. It's too complicated to explain, but it's essentially that the whole album is basically one story of a man. In this case, it's sort of a sci-fi fantasy-esque, like a lot of that kind of power metal is. But it's a sort of conquest story of guy pushes through struggle to achieve something and sort of redeem himself. And so that's the last song in the album, and it's like, okay, you've done it. And I don't know if it's just my own tastes, or if you polled multiple men, if they would feel, because that's actually a song that I'm like, every time I hear it, I get sort of, it seizes me in a way. And I'm not sure why, to be honest. It's one of those things where it's almost like it's ingrained itself in my head. where just even the melody of it, I'm like, it still can give me chills sometimes.
There is you've heard this one, I'm sure, because it's on the playlist. I know. Kate and McKay, the Don't You Dare. That one's fun.
I don't know that that's really though. I'm not sure that it's. I don't know that it's a uniquely male perspective though.
Maybe not. There's another one that I remember. This one's by Cody
Fry. There's another song by, I think the guy's name is Ben Platt, and I'm not as sold on it because, I mean, on one hand, it in some ways subverts a stereotypical male perspective, but I do think it is nonetheless, it subverts it nonetheless from a male perspective as well, called I Won't Run Away. Have you heard that one? It's also on the Zune, I think. I don't know. We should compile these because it's more than I thought we'd have. I only had the 2 to start with. But it essentially is an acknowledgement of. I mean, in some ways, it's an acknowledgement that modernity doesn't allow heroism much anymore, because things have been basically civilized enough that going out and conquering nature or being part of the civilizing force of nature has already mostly happened. And so one of the lines that I think is potent is it says, "I may not be wise and I won't save the day, but look into my eyes and know I won't run away," where it's like I think is another.
Well, I've talked about that one song from Shrek the musical.
Yeah, actually, there's another one that just came to mind.
Be a hero.
Yeah, because that's similar.
Clash, yeah, it's like very. This one's interesting, but on more of like a happy note.
No, they don't all have to be sad.
Because I appreciate this one, and I feel like this is uniquely man. But it's Cody Fry, That Thing You Do. Have you heard that one?
Sure, it's not the song I'm thinking of.
What's gotten into me? It's like I'm in some dream when I look at you. Now I'm giving out high fives for free to everyone I see just because I want to. So it's like he's basically going, this is kind of an odd feeling because normally I'm not this person, but I'm this content right now. And I appreciate that. That one's an interesting, kind of a more playful one. Oh, I just thought of one. Oh, what is it called? It's called... you should probably leave. That one's a little bit more like... it's Baby It's Cold Outside. No, it's not.
What?
Chris Stapleton, you should probably leave.
What did that have to do with Baby It's Cold Outside? You threw me off.
Well, it's a similar vibe as far as it being like basically...
Get out while you still can.
Well, a little bit.
If you brace yourself.
No, there's one... It's about... Saving the Seat? Is that what it's called? And it's about like him losing his love. Oh yeah, Alex Warren right here. This one.
Alex who?
Alex Warren, Saving the Seat.
See, then I think you could also flip it around the other way, because I also think a lot of Eight Graves is very male-oriented.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. I've gotten into a weird kick of creating playlists for hyper niche I'm not even sure what you describe them, just unique threads of logic for songs. Like, I have one that has currently only 3 songs in it called Sad Songs Addressed to Birds. And the reason why is because I happened to come across, over the course of a few weeks, 3 songs that are kind of more sort of somber, slow music that are broadly sort of themes of life and existentialism, but that are also written specifically addressed to birds. I was like, the fact that I found these 3 randomly kind of makes me like, this is a strange confluence.
Well, do you have, I'm assuming that within that playlist you have the 2 little birds inside my doorstep singing sweet song.
Who is this? By
Marley.
Okay, but is it a sad song?
No, it's not a sad song.
Well, then that doesn't fit. Oh, is that how that song starts? I literally only know the chorus to that song. I don't know actually if you know these. You might know this, the one Little Bird by Arcadian Wild.
Yeah.
That's a good one. And then Oh Raven, I've obviously shown you by Unlike Pluto. I know I've shown you, I don't know if you remembered it. And then one by Cosmo Sheldrake called Cuckoo Song, and it's not, strictly speaking, addressed to a bird. You could interpret it as being addressed to a bird. It's more... It's sort of from a bird's perspective, you might argue, but I don't know. I included it because of...
Are we just BSing our way through the end of the...
Yeah, we're getting to the time limit. This is filler. I also have 5 songs. This one's more generic. It's just songs about the passage of time. But I mean specifically, not just like, oh, vibe based, but like actually about it. Like I have Passing Through on here.
Well, Passing Through, what's the...
One called Solar Waltz by Cosmo Sheldrake also. That one's great. But see, I guess that's why I'm more concerned about this one, because I have a more narrow mind than just, oh, it references time passing in general. I mean, because that's more of a cultural and political. This is more on a personal level that I'm interested in it.
I suppose you could do the...
An oddball out in this one is actually the song 7 Years by Lucas Graham.
Do you have the...
Because that was...
Oh, come on!
This just sounds very feminine.
No. It's come on, what's the... It's by Lone Star?
Lone Star, that reminds me of the radio station.
Years, is that what it's called?
I don't know. Oh, the song Chemical Worker would also be a good one for the list. Well, since it's more popular than the other ones, I'm going to create this right now.
Is it by 5 for Fighting? No way. That can't be true. It's by 5 for Fighting. I thought it was Lone Star.
You expect me to know what this means?
That's a weird realization. So that's the I'm 15 for for a moment, caught in between 10 and 20, and I'm just dreaming, counting the ways to where you are. He's like goes through his entire life. Like I'm 33 for a moment, still the man.
So it's basically the same as 7 Years, but different.
Yeah, I love that.
Because that song, I remember when that song...
I'm 99 for a moment.
Wow.
I'm dying just for another moment, and just dreaming, realizing the ways, or counting the ways to where you are.
Well, that sounds like it would fit. Because I remember when 7 Years became popular, and I never really listened to it back then. It was only when I discovered it recently, I was like, this was actually a far better song than I thought, because the people who were like all about it back then, I didn't think were very interesting people. So it's like, I guess I undersold the song based on the weirdos who liked it. Alright, well, I'm adding these now. Just for the sake of it. I know that this is basically what Spotify is all about, is niche playlists for unique things. And I guess I'm late to this bandwagon, but I like to think mine are at least unusually strange. I would love to add more to the Songs Addressed to Birds one, but I don't know that I will naturally. I think it'll take a long time.
I'm assuming you've just looked up songs from...
No, I haven't sought it out. That's why I was interested in it in the first place, is that it was 3 separate songs that I was not seeking, but that just all kind of happened to have this similar vibe. That is why I at least thought it was at least fair that I combine them together for the sake of acknowledging the strange confluence. Well, I don't know what else to tell you. Just these are your playlists to look at. I think they're actually public on my YouTube Music. Not that I am advertising that, but anyways.
Well, lots of stuff. Feminism and mobs.
I still think we couched it.
Well, what else is new?
By couched it, I mean we're all sleeping on the couch.